Hi, I'm Nancy, an Akashic Records reader, medium, and Reiki practitioner. Have you ever felt like you're missing signs from spirit that they just weren't obvious enough that you overlooked them? And I'm here today to share with you four ways that spirit might be getting in touch with you that you're just not seeing. So I believe spirit is always sending signs, and a lot of them we miss. But when you see a sign and recognize it, it is the best thing. And today I'm going to share with you those ways that spirit might be subtly trying to get your attention and you're just not seeing it. So, number one, spirit often uses lyrics or songs to get our attention, to bring us signs. And it's not that every song is a sign, but you know the one that makes you think of someone special in your life, or you're going through something and you hear the exact words in the lyrics, maybe a song you've never heard before, but the lyrics are exactly what you needed to hear. Yesterday, I was driving somewhere to see some family, and my mom's song came on on the radio, and I knew at once that she was around me and heading into this gathering where we were going. And that hasn't always been our song, but way back when, like I established, Mom, this is the song that I think of when I hear it. It reminds me of you. And so now when I hear that song, it's often at times that will be the right time that I need to know that she's around me. And so, yeah, some people ask me, is this a sign from spirit? When I hear the song, well, make that the sign. Let spirit know. Say to your uncle, that's the song that I think of when I remember you. And so maybe that will then be the song that you hear when you need a little bit of reassurance. But yes, the spirit definitely comes through in songs, and it's just a matter of paying attention to that. I think we overlook it because we say, well, it's just a coincidence. That song's on the radio all the time. But I know sometimes Spirit will use songs. You can tell by the format that this is so old, but they'll use old songs that I haven't heard in years at just the right moment. And so I don't take that as coincidence. I take that as a sign. And when I acknowledge it, I say that to Spirit. I hear you. I see you. I see that sign. And I'll find that I will get more signs like that when I acknowledge them aloud. So try that next time you hear a song and say it that you recognize that sign from Spirit. And I guarantee you, Spirit will be happy that finally one of their messages got through. So, second way that Spirit may be coming through to you that you're overlooking is with temperature changes. I didn't recognize that this was a thing until I went to my first mediumship retreat in person. And I felt the shift in temperature change. I felt like I was getting colder and then I was getting hotter. And honestly, I attributed that to just, the stage of life that I was in at the time and, getting these hot flashes or whatever. But the person next to me, who is significantly younger, she was getting that hot energy feeling at the same time. And so sometimes that spirit will come around you with that energy change that you can feel, or your heart will start to beat a little bit faster, or some other difference. I often now get like a lump in my throat when I know spirit is here, or if my eyes are closed, I'll see a certain color. And so you just have to tune in that and see what it is for you. But I find that the temperature change, having to put on a sweater when it's hot outside, that can sometimes signal that spirit is nearby. And tingles, maybe on your arm, on the back of your neck, or I get them on the top of my head, and I know that spirit is there, and that's the calling card even for one of my spirit guides. But that energy, that little shift that you notice, that subtle change, that can definitely be a sign from spirit. And how do you know if it's just getting cold in the room or getting hot in the room or just something on you? It's seen it happen over and over again. It becomes a pattern. So just say it aloud again. I'm going to say that. Say, oh, I feel these tingles, is that my spirit guide, or is that my loved one when I feel that little tap on the back of my head? And you'll start to recognize that maybe when you're thinking about that person or you're looking at photographs, you'll feel that little tap on your head again. And the more it happens, the more you'll see that it's definitely a calling card from your loved one in spirit. The third way is sometimes you'll see a random object out of place. When I was in a seance, a penny fell from out of nowhere, and that was really significant. I'm not talking about that, things dropping out of the sky, but maybe when you're taking a walk, you do see a really, unusual feather that shouldn't be there, that shows you that maybe is a response to a question you ask spirit, or maybe you just see this bird that, is always your sign for someone. And again, how do you know it's them? I remember that in a mediumship reading I had, my mom came through and I was like, what signs are you showing me? And she was like, what signs do you want to see? And so at that time, I established the certain color bird, the type of bird that I wanted to represent her. And now I know it just, they pop out at and obviously birds are everywhere. So you can't say that bird's my mom, that bird's my mom. And I don't think it's her in the form of a bird, but I think she's helping to show me a sign that's reassuring or comforting or just letting me know she's around when I really need that. And if it doesn't appear, it's okay. But when it does appear, it just gives you that validation and that comfort. And yeah, establish with them what bird or flower or butterfly that you're looking for, and see if it doesn't appear in front of you soon. It probably will. Also, objects that are misplaced that show up out of the blue. I just had somebody share with me a beautiful experience where they saw something on the ground that they know wasn't there, that nobody could have moved it, and it just appeared, when they needed it, then they needed that sign from someone. And absolutely 100%, that spirit can do that, I believe, and put things in front of you that you see that you're like, how did this get here? Oh, that must be them. And that just really is beautiful when that magical thing happens. The sign that I think my family started seeing right away, it was certain numbers that we would see on the clock. And now, yeah, when we see that, we think of this person, and there's other numbers that come through, and I'm like, oh, that number means this to me. Or sometimes I will even look it up, angel number meaning, and then type in the number and see what it means, because spirit definitely works through messages like that. And if you get a feeling that there's something significant to these digits that you're seeing, look them up. Like, look up the meaning behind that. Again, just search angel meaning and then the number, and you can find a really beautiful message from spirit through that. And I even have a book up here, angel number meanings, and you can find that, wherever you get books. But you can just kind of see what the comfort is behind it, or the energy, or the meaning, and that can just have a way that spirit can connect with you at any time by seeing these numbers. I think sometimes we're just not paying attention to see these numbers. Maybe it's on a license plate that comes in. But I remember a really beautiful time. I was at my mom's cemetery, and when I left, it wasn't just the number, but it was the word with the number on a special license plate that was in front of me. And I was like, oh, I know that you're there, Mom. Hey, Mom. And just acknowledging it again, I'm going to keep saying it, is really important when you see those numbers that have meaning and you take the time to think about it and look into it. Look for, again, like repetition of seeing it, or the pattern of that number coming through a lot. Maybe you don't see 444 once, but you're running into 44 on the clock. Maybe it's your flight number. Maybe it's the number on your receipt, who knows? But when you start seeing the repeating pattern of a number like over and over, that's a time to think about it and reflect on it to what it means for you. Now, these are just a few ways that spirit may be trying to get in touch with you that you're not seeing, and now maybe you'll be a little bit more aware of them. But like I keep saying, acknowledge them when you see them, even write them down when you see a sign, because you think you're going to remember. And if you're anything like me, you totally forget unless it's like the big loud signs. Write the small ones down too. Take note of the date and see if it keeps happening. And spirit will be so happy that they have gotten through to you and that you've acknowledged the sign or symbol even that they've been sending you. If you have signs or symbols or something cool that happened with spirit, I would love to hear about it. So put that down in the comments or email me. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Have a great day.